It is Saturday, 9:30 a.m. and we are back with 15 incredible watches on the table, as always, ranging from very affordable micro brands all the way up to your mainstream Seikos and everything in between, as well as some awesome vintage chronographs in this week's episode. Very excited to bring it to you. If you're new here, my name is James. I run Kibble Watches here in Clerkenwell, London, and every single Saturday, 9:30 a.m. we put new watches on the website. Down in the description, you'll see every single watch listed here with a timestamp, so you can skip to that specific one. So let's say you're here just to see the Vertex, you can skip ahead to just that watch. You can also find a link where it will take you over to the website and you can see all the details, purchase price if it's still available, additional photos, pretty much everything you could possibly want, as well as this video, which will be listed in that website listing as well. Now I do just want to say I've got a bit of a cold at the moment that I just cannot seem to shake. The kids brought it home from nursery, very typical story, and again, until you have kids, you sort of think your immune system's pretty good. It is terrible. So I'm fighting through it. I apologise if this video is a little bit slower than usual and there's a lot more cuts than usual as I try and just get through the 15 watches, or maybe it'll be a bit briefer, I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. Now before we crack on with the awesome watches on the table, what's on wrist? I'm wearing a Grand Seiko Mount Iwate, really awesome watch with a beautiful dial. It's the High Beat GMT. This was actually one of the first Grand Seiko references I ever sold many years ago now. And to sort of have one in the personal collection, at least for the time being, it's really great to have. It's not my usual thing, you know, usually it's vintage and small that I gravitate towards, and this is obviously on the slightly bigger side, but it's absolutely lovely. So that's what's on wrist today. As always, let me know down in the comments, what watch are you wearing today? And is it one you've picked up from us? So we're going to start this week's episode with an incredible vintage Gallet, and this isn't just any vintage Gallet. This is a 1940s Gallet Flying Officer Mark I, nicknamed the Truman, and this is a black dial 34mm. Now, as some of you will remember, I had one of these a few weeks back now, and it sold instantly when it hit the website, and that was on a really awesome made in USA bracelet. This is another fantastic example. Considering these hardly ever come up, I'm very honored to now have another one in. Same reference from the 1940s, slightly different dial, with the brevet number and everything stated on the dial, and we'll get into a bit more details on that. But these are nicknamed the Truman because one was gifted to Harry Truman, who obviously became one of the presidents of the United States, and this model came into production in 1938, and this is an early 40s reference, and this is the same reference that Truman was gifted. Now, it is rumoured that these dials, almost all of them, are refinished dials. There's a massive range of stories as to why, and the theory is that these were done by Gallet themselves many years ago. So these are still very old dials, and the lume and everything is just aged beautifully, and the way these are patinas is incredible. But the rumour goes that these were refinished to sort of adjust the names or remove names on the dial depending on where in the world it was going, because obviously, as you can imagine, in the 1940s, very sensitive time, so therefore things had to be altered depending on where they were being imported to or exported to, of course. So that's the rumour. Again, how true it is, I don't know. Unfortunately, with a lot of these things, it is based on the rumour mill and what sort of tallies as a story. But these are definitely very early refinished dials, and they're incredible. The hands on these are fantastic. Really nice bold sword hands filled with lume. Big, thick chronograph seconds hand, which again is full of lume. Very unusual to see a chronograph seconds that wide from this period. You've got running seconds over at 9 o'clock, chronograph minutes over at 3 o'clock, which is a 30-minute totalizer. Traditional stop, start and reset. As always with these older movements, this is powered by a manually wound Venus caliber 150. And as I say, 1940s, these are old movements. So do expect a couple of quirks here and there. You know, sometimes it won't start up straight away and then it will sort of get going after a second or two. Sometimes you have to just reset and give it a go again. You know, it's very common for old chronograph movements just to have a few hiccups here and there. Nothing majorly wrong at all. At the end of the day, do we expect anything else that's 80 odd years old to work perfectly still? We definitely don't. This is a reference 67436, and as we have a look around the case, you can see a super solid case. Again, looks to me like it is unpolished, super sharp lugs. And then we have that nice chrome crown at 3 o'clock with the pump pushers. And as you flip it over, you can see a clamshell case with the serial number written in there and stainless steel stated on the case back. What it essentially means with the clamshell case is you can see those screws going into the lugs. When you unscrew those, everything comes out like a pod, and it all comes out of the front of the dial, so the crystal and everything, it all comes out the front. What that meant is just higher water resistance at the time, so very, very clever indeed. As I say, powered by a manually wound Venus caliber 150, circa 1940s, and paired on a wonderful watch gecko strap, which are handmade in Belgium. I think that suits the watch beautifully. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 34mm by 42.5mm lug to lug, 11.5mm on the thickness, and 18mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes to make strap changing super easy. This is a really wonderful watch, a great example, and as I say, they do not come up often, although I've had two in a short period. This one came through because the chap had seen I'd sold the other one. So yeah, as I say, they do not come up often at all. So this is a great opportunity to pick up another fantastic example. Who knows, I might get a third, but I highly doubt it, to be honest. So snap this one up whilst you can. Now on to another wonderful vintage chronograph, this time from Omega, and this is a unpolished example, actually sold by Shook the Oyster some years ago. And if you've heard of those guys, you know they get really good stuff in. So this is definitely a beautiful watch. This is a vintage 1962 Omega Seamaster chronograph with the famous Omega caliber 321, which was the movement used in the Speedmaster that went to the moon. So a very renowned movement, and it's great to see it in a smaller Seamaster form rather than just the Speedmaster. 35mm in case size, and this is specifically a reference 14364-61, which is not a reference you see often. They have these really nice straight but faceted lugs rather than the fat sort of slightly twisted lugs that we see on most Seamasters. As you can see from the dial, applied logo at 12, Omega Seamaster stated right there, really beautiful indices, which are these faceted daggers, loom still present throughout, as well as on the hands, and the dial is just immaculate, absolutely incredible. Probably one of the best examples I've certainly seen. Sunken chronograph dials, you've got running seconds over at 9 o'clock, 30-minute totalizer at 3 o'clock, 12-hour totalizer at 6 o'clock. So you've got that full chronograph feature. And as we take a look around the case, this is where you'll see what I'm talking about. Unpolished stainless steel, really incredible chamfers on the case itself, which come sort of down towards the end of the lugs. You have an Omega sign crown at 3 o'clock as well as the pump pushers. Traditional start-stop for the top pusher, reset for the bottom pusher. As we flip it over, you can see that spun case back right there, and Seamaster and Waterproof are perfectly visible. They're sort of engraved on the case back, and one or two polishes, you lose that text. So again, a real good telltale sign. This has just been well looked after over the years. And beating away inside there is the Omega manually wound caliber 321. And as I say, this dates to circa 1962, and it's paired on a really nice sort of black suede strap, which I think suits the watch beautifully. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist. These wear slightly bigger than some of the other 321 Seamasters you'll come across at 35mm by 43.5mm lug to lug, 12.5mm on the thickness, and 18mm on the lug. So endless options, obviously, for swapping this one out if you're not a fan of this pairing. It's going to look good on browns, blues, you know, blacks, you name it. It's such a good looking watch. So do play around with the straps, but go check it out on the website. Now for a really wonderful 18 karat pink gold Zenith. This is the Zenith Stelina 18 karat pink gold 37mm, so oversized for the time in the 50s, and it's powered by the Zenith caliber 156D. So this is just a beautiful example. As we take a look at the dial, you can see Zenith proudly stated at 12 o'clock. You've got running seconds over at 9 o'clock, 45-minute totalizer at 3 o'clock, and then this really nice silver dial, which has obviously developed a patina throughout with some fading on that outer track, but that outer track is still visible in some areas more than others, and it is in blue, so a really nice pop. These wonderful gold dagger hands, as well as those applied indices, again, it just makes it absolutely catch the light. A really beautiful watch. As we take a look around the case, 18 karat pink gold, really nice brushed sides, polished tops, and it's in very, very good condition. Has got a slightly later replacement crown at 3 o'clock, and then you've got those really awesome sort of box pushers at 2 and 4. Really always wonderful to see. As we flip it over, you'll see an 18 karat gold polished snap-on case back with the serial number stated right there. As I say, this is a Stelina reference, as it's often referred to, and powering it is the manually wound Zenith caliber 156D. This watch dates to circa 1950s, and it's paired currently on a brown suede strap by Watch Gecko. Again, a really nice pairing if you ask me, but a watch of this design is kind of going to go with anything you want to pair it with. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 37mm by 44.5mm lug to lug. It wears beautifully, especially for this age. You know, we're talking 70 odd years old and it still looks this good. 10.5mm on the thickness and 19mm on the lugs. So yeah, be sure to check out this incredible watch on the website today. Okay, now we're on some Seikos and we've got 4 on the table. We're going to start with this one right in the center here. This is the Seiko Presage Zimi number 19 Thailand limited edition. This is actually the last Thailand exclusive Zimi edition that they produced. It's the reference SPB 443J1. And as you can see, you've got that wonderful metallic blue bezel, and then you've got that baby blue on the second hand and that awesome texture, or I should say pattern on the dial. As you can see right there, that pattern is also present on the box as well, which is really cool. The whole set for this is kind of amazing and definitely worth checking out. Limited to just 500 pieces. You've got those really wonderful luminous sword hands, big luminous indices, date at 3 o'clock, everything you'd expect for an SPB reference. As we take a look around the case, again, everything you'd expect with that nice brushing and polished chamfers, big screw down crown at 3 o'clock, and then it comes on its 3-link bracelet, which is definitely on the higher end for Seiko. I think these bracelets are fantastic. Nice folding clasp, all milled as well as you'd expect, with 4 pinholes for the on the buckle so you can get a nice fit. As we take a look at the case back, again, nicely decorated, Zimi proudly stated there, the limited edition number out of 500, and powering the watch is the automatic Seiko Caliber 6R35. This one is from August 2024, with its box and paperwork ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 40.5mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, nice and compact. 13mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes to make strap changing nice and easy. Again, for the money, it's obviously up there being the limited edition, but the SPB range in general are definitely some of the best value for money Seikos you can buy. And if you're wanting something different, something very exclusive, especially on this side of the pond, this is definitely one to consider, so go check it out on the website today. Next, we have a awesome Seiko Presage with an enamel dial. So if you're after something a bit different, this is definitely one to consider. This is called the Ricky Enamel Blue Automatic SPB 163J1, named after a designer who made these incredible Ricky sort of stainless steel wall clocks. And again, there's a very important person involved in these enamel dials as well, so be sure to read the full description on the website. But this is the SPB 163J1, and as you can see on that dial, you've got a wonderful blue enamel dial. As you play around, you can really see where the sunken aspects of the dial show, and that really elevates the enameling. You can see it sort of play with the light and sink inwards. It's just beautiful. There's nothing quite like an enamel dial. And up close with a loop, you can even see some of the imperfections as well, which again, I'm personally a fan of because enameling shouldn't be perfect. Seiko Presage Automatic stated at 12 o'clock. You actually have a power reserve over at 9 o'clock. And your day of the week, your date of the month indicator at 6 o'clock. So quite a lot going on, but all very handy indeed. Beautiful cathedral hands with a center seconds there, spade hands. Nice applied printed indices around the outside as well with that minute track. As we take a look at the case, you've got polishing and brushing throughout, a nice sign crown at 3 o'clock. And as we flip it over, an exhibition case back right there showcasing the automatic Seiko Caliber 6R27, not one you see often, but again, it has that added complication. Comes paired on its brown glossy leather strap, which has hardly been used, to be honest, with its push button deployment clasp. And it's from October 2022 with its box and paperwork. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist. It wears beautifully. 40mm by 46.5mm lug to lug, 12.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug, so you can totally swap this out and have a play around with straps. And again, once the strap is worn in, it will wear that much better because this is not really been worn and it's quite stiff at the moment, so just something to keep in mind. But yes, go check out this watch, which is very affordable, on the website today. And now onto a boutique only, a new Bond Street boutique actually here in London, Seiko Alpinist, nicknamed the Mystic Forest. This is a really cool one, reference SPB 289J1. As we take a look at that dial, you can see the Mystic Forest dial after the magical forests of Japan. Really, really wonderful texture, and the kind of texture, the closer you look, the more interesting it becomes, because at sort of first glance it's very subtle with the green and just sort of catches the light, but it is really, really wonderful. Nice sword luminous hands and a gold tone on the second hand, applied Seiko logo, Classic Alpinist 12 o'clock indice and date over at 3 o'clock. Really, really nicely done. As we take a look around the case, again, brushing and polishing throughout, nice and compact actually on the case, and a screw down crown at 3 o'clock, helping with that 20 bar water resistancy. You can see it comes paired on its original bracelet, which is still stickered. The bracelet hasn't been worn, the watch has been worn, but the bracelet hasn't. I'll just have to make that clear. As we flip it over, you can see an exhibition case back right there, stating it is a Seiko Boutique Special Edition. And inside is the automatic Seiko Caliber 6R35, a workhorse movement by Seiko. This one's from October 2022 with its box and paperwork ready to go. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 38mm by 38mm by 45.5mm lug to lug, so really compact and comfortable on the wrist, 13mm on the thickness and 19mm on the lugs. This is definitely a watch that just gets better the longer you look at it, so I would highly recommend picking this up and enjoying it. So go check it out on the website today. Now on to a very cool limited edition Seiko Tuna that was exclusively sold over in Asia in a few select countries. You can read which countries those were on the website. But this is nicknamed the blue butterfly fish, and it's actually named after the blue cheek butterfly fish found in certain coral reefs, which have this incredible blue and yellow coloration, which you can see that has inspired this watch. You've got a metallic blue bezel, a classic tuna case as well, as you can see, really nice vibrant yellow on the dial, and those classic tuna sort of sword hands, I guess you'd say, full of lume, and those big aggressive indices as well, very reminiscent of the Monster as well, the Seiko Monster. Yellow minute track, which is sort of raised up, coming up towards the bezel, and day date over at 3 o'clock, which is has Roman numerals and I believe just English, so you've got those two options there as well. As we take a look around the case, you've got that classic tuna case with those hex keys to sort of screw it all in. You can actually take those off, but again, I'll just leave them on, I don't know why you would. And then you've got that really nice screw down crown at 4 o'clock, or sort of 3:30. As we flip this watch over, you can see a screw down case back stating the limited edition number out of 2,200 pieces. This is a reference SRPD 15K1, and it's powered by the automatic Seiko Caliber 4R36. And it comes paired on its original blue rubber strap, which is super soft and comfortable, and obviously quite long. These tunas are definitely typically made for the bigger wrist, but you can get away wearing them on a smaller wrist, especially as the lug to lug length is very short, but we'll get onto that in a second. This one's from July 2021 with its box and paperwork ready to go, and here it is on my 7-inch wrist. Now obviously it's a big watch, it's meant to be a big watch, but it wears surprisingly well considering it's 47.5mm on its case width, but it is only 50.5mm on its lug to lug. So super short lugs in comparison to the width of the case, so again it wears wide but not too long, if that makes sense. 13mm on the thickness and 22mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes, so you can switch and swap straps as you please. But go check out this awesome limited edition watch on the website today. Now onto a really fun Christopher Ward. This is the ice cream model, part of the 12 series, actually made to celebrate International Ice Cream Day or something along those lines. I never knew that existed, but I'm glad it does. So here we go. This is the classic 12 in 38mm, so actually a bit smaller than some of the other models, with that really crazy blue dial, with that iconic texture that we're sort of accustomed to from Christopher Ward. It looks amazing, and the blue is very striking in person. Applied Christopher Ward logo at 12 o'clock, those lovely hands with lume throughout, as well as those applied indices, again with lume in them. Date over at 6 o'clock, which is colour matched, which is always nice to see. And then we have the 12 bezel, which has got all those lovely sort of facets, which are polished and brushed, really plays with the light, and we've got the brushing along the sides. Screw down crown at 3 o'clock, protected by crown guards, as you can see. And then we come on to the integrated bracelet, which tapers nicely down to the clasp, which is a push button, opens out both sides with Christopher Ward stated there. There's a couple of stickers actually still present on the inside of the clasp. And then we have a look at the exhibition caseback. That's a Selita SW200-1 inside, workhorse movement, you can never go wrong, and it's limited to just 200 pieces total as well in this colourway. This one's from August 2024 with its box and paperwork ready to go. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 38mm by 43mm lug to lug, 10mm on the thickness and 23mm on the integrated bracelet, tapering down to the clasp. So yeah, if you're after a fun Christopher Ward 12, this is definitely one to consider. Certainly puts a smile on my face knowing that it's for ice cream day, which every day should be ice cream day, but that's just my opinion. So go check it out on the website today. Now we're on to a really great limited edition fairer. This is actually just limited to 20 pieces total. This is the Bonina. I'm probably butchering that, but it's named after an iconic race with incredible cars. This is the Bonina Mark I chronograph. As I say, limited to just 20 pieces total. They have reproduced this in a slightly different format and style, but as I say, this is the original limited to just 20 pieces. We have that striking white dial with those pops of red throughout, as you can see, with those luminous hands, center chronograph seconds. The running seconds is actually at 9 o'clock with a blue hand, whereas the chronograph is all red to make it nice and easy to tell what is what. There's also pops of blue on the inside, as you can see. The first 15 seconds of the second track stated in blue, as well as the word tachymeter on the bezel, which is also in white. Really, really nicely done. And very, very striking indeed. As we take a look around the case, you've got that lovely brushing throughout, really nice angles. You've got a crown at 3 o'clock, which has got the fairer logo stated inside with bronze. So that will develop a nice patina. Pump pushers, as you can see, at 2 and 4 for the chronograph. And as we flip it over, you actually see a manually wound Selita SW510BH Elaboré. So it's actually the higher grade manually wound chronograph movement in there, with a custom plate, as you can see. Limited to just 20, as I said, so very, very limited, even for fairer. And this one comes paired on its worn but enjoyed leather fairer strap as well. It's from September 2019 with its box and paperwork, and here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 41mm by 44mm lug to lug. Only 13mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lug, so endless options for swapping out this strap. And I think with a watch like this, it could look great on a variety of things, so definitely have a play around, but what a cool watch. So go check it out on the website today. Now on to another great chronograph. This time this is the Aquastar Airstar chronograph 60th anniversary, based on old skin diver chronographs from the 50s and 60s, which I absolutely love, as you probably know. Limited edition. I'm not going to bore you the reference. You can go see that on the website. I believe limited to 300 pieces, but do check the website to confirm. Really nice Aquastar dial. Those lovely syringe hands with that sort of subtle faux patina of the loom in there, as well as the matching on the indices. You've got running seconds over at 9 o'clock. Your 30-minute totalizer for the chronograph over at 3 o'clock. Nice black bezel, which is polished, so you've got that subtle shine to it, and then you've got the matte finish to the case itself as we take a look around. Big signed screw down crown at 3 o'clock with pump pushers for the chronograph at 2 and 4. And again, it's that sort of cushion-ish, tonneau-ish shape, I guess you'd say. Very iconic for the period. And as we flip it over, a nicely decorated screw down case back right there, as you can see, stating 1964 to 2024, and the number as well. Really nicely done. Powering this watch is the automatic Valjoux 7753, which I believe is the 2 register no date version of the 7750, and it's from September 2024 with its box and paperwork ready to go and paired on its very comfortable black rubber strap. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 39mm by 49mm lug to lug, so really nice dimensions. 16.5mm on the thickness, so definitely on the thicker side. Some of that is in that domed crystal, so do keep that in mind. And 21mm on the lugs, so go check out this awesome watch on the website today. Next up, we have a classic that I think a lot of you know I'm a big fan of. This is the Vertex M100 manually wound Dirty Dozen, part of the original first series of 40mm manually wound references. You can see you've got that lovely matte black dial, broad arrows stated under the Vertex logo, big syringe luminous hands, and those 3D loom indices, as you can see on the outer minute track and on the numbers itself. Sub-seconds down at 6 o'clock, obviously based on the original Dirty Dozens with the Dirty Dozen range of watches that were used in World War II. As we take a look around the case, you've got a really nice brushed finish throughout, brushed bezel, crown at 3 o'clock, and as we flip it over, a signed screw down case back as well with the number stated on there. This is a reference M100, powering the watch is an ETA, manually wound ETA 7001. Comes paired on its black rubber Vertex strap, which is super comfortable and suits the watch perfectly, but it does have another strap option in the box, so be sure to check that out. This one's circa 2018 with its box and papers ready to go. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist at 40mm by 49mm lug to lug, only 10mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. If you're after a sort of Dirty Dozen remake that has true history and heritage by the original family as well, Don over at Vertex has done a fantastic job with this, so go check it out on the website today. Now, one from a brand you don't see from me all too often, but I think they're fantastic value for money pre-owned. This is the Montblanc TimeWalker Automatic Date 41mm. Really lovely design on this, and it reminds me of an Oris I had, an Oris Artilier I believe it was, which was, or Artix GT actually, which was one of the first watches I ever really owned, and I should have definitely kept it. I've actually owned it twice now. But anyway, this is the Montblanc TimeWalker stated in red with that lovely red seconds. Really nice contrast with that silver dial. Nice numerals as well, which are applied to the dial with those raised indices, outer minute track and date at 3 o'clock, with a nice 12 stated bezel, which is black and it rotates as well. Really nice clicking action. As we take a look around the case, you can see almost like these vents in the side of the case. Very sporty, very racing inspired. Really nice brushing. Black crown at 3 o'clock with the Montblanc logo inside the crown itself. And as we flip it over, you can see an exhibition case back. There's actually still a sticker on the case back as well. This is a reference 116058, and that is a Montblanc caliber 24.17, which I believe is an ETA or Solita base, but again, check out the website for the full details there. It's on its original Montblanc leather strap with a nice signed buckle as well. Again, perforated like a racing strap, so nice design overall. August 2019, box and papers with this one. And it's 41mm, here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 41mm by 50mm lug to lug, 11mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. If you're after something a little bit different, I do think Montblanc offer great watches, especially at these kind of prices, you know, under £1,000. That's a lot of watch for the money from a brand that, you know, whilst they're not the biggest watchmakers in the world, they're very well known for a lot of things, pens, fragrance, leather. So yeah, it's a cool brand, cool watch. Go check it out on the website today. Now for a Sinn 104, but the lesser seen white dial black bezel variant, which I actually think is my favorite of the bunch, to be honest. It's lovely. So as we take a closer look at the dial, you can see that really nice, it looks almost enamel. It's not, but it's like this enamel lacquered white dial. Sinn and automatic stated in black, those lovely syringe hands filled with lume. Again, black surrounds on those, as well as the indices and the outer minute track. Day date over at 3 o'clock. Again, the sort of contrast here is really, really sharp and lovely. A black bezel, which has got a couple of marks here and there. It's obviously been worn and enjoyed, which is always nice to see. Full polished case, as you can see there, again with some marks. Big sign screw down crown at 3 o'clock, and as we flip it over, an exhibition case back right there with the Sinn gold rotor. Powering this watch is the Solita SW210-1. This does compare on its original Sinn strap, which again has definitely seen some wear and action, but still surprisingly comfortable. This one is from May 2020. It doesn't have any box or paperwork. We had sold this one previously a little while back, which is how we know it's from May 2020. Unfortunately, the paperwork has been lost, as is the box in that time. These things happen, not the end of the world, because again, we have the serial number, we know it's the one we sold, and we bought it off the same person. So again, it all tallies, but hey, these things happen. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 41mm by 47mm lug to lug, 11.5mm on the thickness, and 20mm on the lugs. So yeah, if you're after a Sinn 104 in white, that's a pretty damn good deal, because it has no box and papers. This is definitely one to consider, so go snap it up today. Now on to a wonderful Squale. This is the Squale 50 Atmos Militare Blasted 1521 automatic 41.5mm. There's a lot of words there, but the main thing is it's the Squale Militare and it's the blasted version, which is really cool and one of my favorites. You've got that really nice matte black dial with those wonderful sword hands full of lume, vibrant orange on the minute hand, as you can see, big bold luminous indices and an outer minute track. Nice and simple. We then come to the bezel, which is black and it is lume filled. So all of those markers and indices are full of lume and it glows really, really well. Very good lume in this one. As we take a look around the case, that blasted case throughout with those really nice chamfers and sign screw down crown at 4 o'clock on this sort of torno shape. The reference to this one is 1521 mil.ht. And as we flip it over, a polished case back which is screw down, and inside is the automatic Selita SW200-1, a workhorse movement. Paired on its original, very soft as well, Squale rubber strap with a blasted buckle. It's from June 2023 with its box and paperwork ready to go. And here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 41.5mm by 48.5mm lug to lug. It wears really nicely. 12.5mm on the thickness and 20mm on the lugs. So go check this one out on the website today. And last but by no means least, and the most affordable watch on the table, it is a vintage Movado Calatrava, as we're calling it, from the 1950s. It has the manually wound caliber 125, 33.5mm. It is very, very charming. You can see a nice silver dial, Movado simply stated at 12 o'clock. Little gold applied indices throughout with the 12, 2, 4 and so on, with the odd numbers being these nice little dagger appliques. Sub-seconds at 6 o'clock, which is a nice big sub-seconds, and gold tone sword hands, which are very thin and elegant. As we take a look around the case, you've got a chrome case, so it has got some chrome wear as you'd expect, but nothing too crazy. But really nicely shaped case. Nice button crown at 3 o'clock. As we flip it over, a plain snap-on case back. This is a reference 38210, and powering it is a very wonderful manually wound Movado caliber 125. As I say, circa 1950s on this one. Paired it on a nice simple brown leather strap. But again, for the money, this is just a lot of watch, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Here it is on my 7-inch wrist, 33.5mm by 40.5mm lug to lug, 8.5mm on the thickness and 17mm on the lugs. A beautiful vintage watch that will not break the bank but offer a huge amount of smiles, and with Christmas coming up would make a lovely gift as well. So go check this one out on the website today. So there we have it, everyone. 15 watches in this week's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's not been too painful having to listen to my cold. At the end of the day, I want to make sure we get these episodes out every single week, and I am doing my best to build up enough drops to last throughout the Christmas period and New Year as well. So there will still be new drops as usual, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm not making any promises. But yeah, let me know what's been your favourite. For me, it's got to be between, I would say, the 3 vintage chronographs. I think they're all fantastic in very different ways, and I could see all 3 in a collection together even. But maybe that's just my my dreaming level of my own collection, if I could have everything I wanted, right? But yeah, as always, let me know what you enjoyed the most. Next Saturday, another incredible drop with some amazing stuff if it makes it, if it doesn't sell beforehand, including a H. Moser & C Pioneer Perpetual Calendar, manually wound as well. Really cool piece. So yeah, there's some exciting stuff coming up, and we're getting closer to Christmas. I'm going to make announcements soon on delivery, final delivery times for international UK, when I'm going to be closed, because I'm actually going to take a bit of a break. Thankfully, we don't live in London, and the station I come into is actually going to be closed over, I think, a week-and-a-half period at Christmas and New Year. So it kind of gives me an excuse not to come in as well and actually have a bit of a break. Otherwise, I tend to work. But yes, very much looking forward to it, and we'll see you all again next Saturday.